Hi folks, Gordon here, hope all is well with you. Now, I haven't gone live for a long time, going to see how it goes. Might work, might not. But I've called this video Cherry Blossom Bombshell, because the cherry blossom is my absolute favourite tree for two reasons. And I'll tell you why a little bit later. But last week, I was out and about walking around, and I'm walking along a main road which had a lot of side roads leading off it. And I looked up one of the side roads and there were some absolutely gorgeous cherry blossom trees out. Alternating between a pastel pink cherry blossom and a pastel green cherry blossom. Pink, green on both sides of the road. Pink, green. They looked absolutely fantastic. And I thought someone from the council horticulture department has done a superb job with planting those. The sun was shining, beaming down, and they looked absolutely amazing. I thought, oh, they look nice. I carried on walking along, and up the next side road was exactly the same. And on the next side road was exactly the same. Get the idea with that one. It looked amazing. I actually stopped and stood there for a while, just soaking up the view. And on the way back, I was expecting to see them again, so I did see them again, and I stopped again to soak up the view. Here's the thing, it was only when I got home, I said some bad words, it was only when I got home that I asked myself, well, why didn't I take photos? I had my phone with me. If you follow me for any length of time, you know I like taking a decent photo. Well, why didn't I take photos? I was annoyed. I couldn't be asked to go out and, well, it was dark by the time I asked that question because it was late in the evening. This week, I thought, right, I'm going to go back and take those photos that I didn't take last week. Sun was shining again. I even went back at the same time of day to make sure that the sun would be in pretty much the same place. So hopefully I'd get the same view. Set off, got down to these side roads, looked up the first one, and the cherry blossom had gone. Well, it hadn't gone, but it had changed. Now, cherry blossom, in its full glory and of colour and blossom, only lasts a very short window of time. And after that, the blossom starts to shrink and the colour starts to darken. And this is what happened. So the glorious pastel pinks and pastel greens had turned into a dark red and a dark green and less. I think of it as a bit like a balloon. You know, if you blow a balloon up and I don't know, I've done that. You know what a balloon looks like when it's blown up. And then when it's been up for a day or so, it starts to shrink and it gets wrinkled. Flaccid is what happens. Starts to get flaccid. What a beautiful word that is. Flaccid. And I think that's a great way to describe the colours. What had happened to the colours of these cherry blossoms? The colours had gone flaccid. There'd been a flaccidation of colour. Now that's definitely not a real word. Is that a real word? Flaccidation? No, but, well, it should be. Have I just made up a made up word? Flaccidation. I might have to see how many times I can use that over the rest of the year. So anyway, yeah, there had been this flaccidation of colour, so I couldn't take my photos. And it reminded me of the two reasons that I like cherry blossom as my favourite tree. The first is that beautiful colour and fluffiness of the cherry blossom when it's in full bloom, because it looks like a pretend tree. They look like cartoon trees with that almost ridiculous pink colour, and it looks like the kind of tree a child would draw. If you said to a child, draw a tree, you look at the tree and it might have an absurd colour and all pink, all fluffy. like candy floss. They're like pretend trees. It's absolutely beautiful. And because I find that I'm a bit of an escapist, I like escaping from real life as much as possible, certainly in my mind. To see an escapist element in the real world is just a thing of beauty for me. And the second reason I like cherry blossom as my favourite tree is that fleeting moment that we get to see them in the year. Around springtime, the cherry blossom in full bloom will only be there for a few days. No more. And once it's gone, you've got to wait a whole year for that moment to come around again. So it's a bit of a life lesson there. When you're in that moment and you walk past a cherry tree and it's in full, colourful, fluffy bloom, stop. Don't just keep walking. Stop. Soak up the vista. Absorb the view. Maybe take a photo if you remember, which I didn't. And moments in life, sometimes, moments of beauty, of joy, of passion, we can just let come and go, bang, and we haven't taken stock of them properly, we haven't absorbed them properly, we haven't soaked up the joy and the beauty of those moments. So that's a good lesson there. And another lesson about once the cherry blossom window has gone for the whole year, what can we do? Well, nothing about actual cherry blossoms. What you can do is, you can either paint the cherry blossom, or you could hang a painting on your wall that someone has painted that you know. Now, I painted this cherry blossom painting. It's acrylic on an 8x8 canvas panel board. I painted that in April 2021. And you could buy this original if you want, or you could buy a canvas print. I do my prints of my paintings. That's a canvas print, for example, also 8x8. So you could buy an 8x8 print, or I've got 5 different sizes of prints. All come ready to hang with free global shipping over at the site gordonbryanart.com. Or when you're at the site gordonbryanart.com, in the menu there's one item that says 20% discount, another item that says win a free monthly print, because I do a free monthly draw to give away an 8x8 card print. So it might be that you like my painting of cherry blossom, or there's this one I did which is sort of in a cherry blossom vein. You might think, no, I don't want to buy the original, no, I don't want to buy a canvas print, but I'd be quite happy to win a card print of it. Every month I do that draw for as long as I decide to do them. So all you've got to do is put your name and email in and you're entered into the free draw. It won't cost you a penny. So yeah, let me know what you think about the life lesson of the fleeting moment of seeing cherry blossoms in full flow. And when was the last time you actually saw a cherry blossom tree in full bloom? And did you stop and soak up the view? Because there might be one or two still left in bloom here in the UK, where I am, for example. If you drive past one regularly, or go past one on the bus, or see one regularly, but you haven't actually stopped to look at it, go and stop and look at it. And let me know what you think about the joy and the beauty of the cherry blossom in full flow. Right, signing off for now. Wishing you health and happiness. Do leave a comment. I'd love to hear your views. And I'll speak to you again soon.